Imagine you wake up and see a girl above you. She has a very sweet voice and is extremely beautiful. Her pressure is so intense that it feels like your third leg will definitely stand. She even says, "I love you," to you. This is about to be the best moment of your life. But as you try to make a move, you realize you're bound in chains. Today's story is about not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 mommies, girls, filled with tons of love, action, and some unholy deleted scenes from our lives. Let's start with our main character, Mondo, who has come to a college party where many girls from different colleges are present. The guy has decided that tonight he's going to charm a girl and won't go home alone. Tonight, he won't need to use his right hand. He's thinking all this to himself when suddenly a girl named Tatsumigahara sits beside him. Now, Tumi is the most popular girl in the entire university. She's beautiful, has big heart. Tumi invites him to go with her, and Mondo, shocked at the idea of being alone with Tumi, confirms if she's really talking to him. Tumi says yes. She takes him somewhere, and after a few drinks, Mondo starts feeling sleepy. The last thing he remembers is something suspicious. Mondo wakes up a little later and finds Tumi above him with very little clothing, and seeing all this, he asks her, "What do you want from me?" What a clueless MC. Even I feel like chaining him up. He immediately says he wants to go home, but hearing this, Tumi goes crazy. She points a knife at his neck, saying, "You're lying, aren't you? We're boyfriend and girlfriend, right?" Before she can hurt him further, Mondo says, "Yes, we're in a relationship." Tumi is happy hearing this, but Mondo still can't believe she has this side to her personality. Just then, another girl enters the room, bringing some food. But Mondo's focus isn't on the food itself. Her name is Midori, and today she's brought something to eat. Tumi is getting late for her classes, so Midori leaves a note under the food plate, which Mondo notices. Tumi and Midori both leave. Mondo finishes his food and reads the note, which says, "Do as Tumi says, and in a few days I'll save you." Reading this, Mondo feels a glimmer of hope, but he wonders if he can truly trust these girls. For now, though, he has no other choice. He hides the letter between some books, hoping it stays hidden. But what if Tumi finds it? If she does, she might just take her boyfriend out. Permanently. In the middle of the night, the guy wakes up to find Tatsumi hovering over him. And just as things are about to start, his stomach growls, reminding him that he's hungry. So Tatsumi decides to feed him herself, which he finds amusing. He's thinking about how this beautiful girl is feeding him delicious food by hand. It would be a perfect scenario, if only his hands weren't tied up. After he finishes eating, it's time for the next step, Mondo's cleaning. Tatsumi says, "Mondo-kun, you've eaten and bathed, so now it's our time together." She then warns him that if he tries to deceive her, she'll cut him up. Days go by, and he's still stuck there. Each day a different girl comes to feed him. Some chat a little, some don't say a word. But Midori is still helping him through letters. And through her letters, we find out that Tatsumi belongs to a powerful and wealthy family with a history of kidnapping people. So he's not the first guy to end up chained like this. And since she's rich and influential, she can do whatever she wants with him without consequences. It's like she owns everything, including him. Still, there is one key to Mondo's freedom hidden somewhere on Tatsumi, though it seems like he's starting to trust Midori a bit since she's been helping him. Finally, the day arrives when Mondo and Midori plan to escape together. The door opens, and Mondo expects to see Midori, but instead, Tatsumi is there, furious that he's been cheating on her. She attacks him, and though he gets hurt, he manages to steal the key and push her away. Just then, Midori arrives, and they take off together. Tatsumi falls back, defeated. But just before Mondo can reach the exit, he collapses. When he wakes up, Midori is sitting beside him, and he thinks the nightmare is over, but realizes he's still chained up. This time, not just his hands, but his legs, too. Not third one.
In shock, he asks Midori what's happening, and she says, "The medicine I added to your food must have worked." He's stunned. The door opens, and another girl enters, saying, "Midori-chan, you stole my Mondo." Looking at the door, Mondo can't believe what's happening. Midori says, "It's Tatsumi's fault. She wasn't careful enough." Tatsumi says she won't lose next time. And we see there are 5 other crazy girls, all treating Mondo like a puppet, competing over him. Mondo's now officially owned by Midori. Later, Midori says to the guy that he's scared out of his mind. She jokes that this isn't something that can just be stitched back. The guy's like, "I want to be treated gently." And Midori remembers every detail of when he said that. Date, location, everything. This poor guy has been the target of these 5 sisters for a long time. Midori says, "You say you want to be treated gently, but actually, you want it a bit rough, don't you?" Then she starts playing Blue Lock with him. Before she goes any further, the guy begs to use the restroom, thinking she'll untie him, but Midori has other ideas. She hands him a weird tool he has to use in a really embarrassing way. He'll have no choice but to use it. Now it's nighttime. Midori heads to her room to sleep, but if the guy needs the bathroom, she ties him to a diaper. He starts wondering how he'll face the world with the diaper on. The guy thinks about escaping but realizes he can't ask any of the other girls for help because they're all part of the plan. In the morning, Asumi brings him food. The guy asks, "What is all this? You've turned me into a toy." Asumi says, "Exactly. You're a toy for us 5 sisters." She says, "You can't escape from this place, but you can come to me, and I'll do as you say."
It should have been me, not him!
After she leaves, the guy tries to figure out the rules, thinking maybe a key could set him free. He realizes it must be connected to some rule. Just then, Midori enters and asks, "Do you want food first, or a kiss?" "Man, I want to chained up like that." The guy asks her why she's doing all this since he even cares about her. He asks if he follows everything, will she give him another chance to escape with her? Midori says he can't escape, and that they'll figure something out, which finally breaks her. She goes crazy, drops the food, throws the key, and yells, "I never wanted you in the first place. Go to hell." She storms off, leaving him stranded. Now the guy tries to reach for the key, but it's too far. Suddenly, a new girl
picked up the key, approached Mondo, and asked if he needed it. Mondo initially thought it was some kind of trick, but before he could say anything, this girl unlocked his chains. When Mondo asked why she did it, she replied, "I thought you wanted to be free." Mondo was finally free, at least from the chains. The first thing he did was run outside the room, discovering that the entire place was like a maze. Midori had hidden letters in plain sight for anyone to see. In this maze, he could clear it in an hour if he found each one, but then he saw a shadow and thought Midori was coming back. However, the new girl, whose name was Kuu, grabbed Mondo's hand and led him somewhere. She said she would take him to a better place, which turned out to be the bathroom. Mondo felt a bit relaxed but was still suspicious. Despite knowing she was Midori's younger sister, he kept his guard up around Kuu. Then, Kuu joined him in the bathroom, making Mondo tense up even more. She called him Oniai-chan, that made it clear where things might be heading, but Mondo was careful to remember she is also a Yandere. Ko asked him if he was feeling relaxed since he hadn't bathed in a long time. She even offered to wash his back, something she had always wanted to try. While washing his back, she started teasing him a bit, and Mondo's hand accidentally went to the wrong place, earning him a punishment of tickles. Eventually, Kuu teased him, saying that he hadn't washed every part of his body, so she would do it for him. And from this panel, I think we all knew where this is going, but Bro stopped her. Bro actually had some self-control. After the bath, he put on some new clothes, which he hadn't done in days, and drank a drink that Kuu offered. The drink reminded him of another girl he used to drink with near his home. There was some resemblance between that girl and Kuu, except Ko had shorter hair. After drinking, Mondo asked Ko to help him escape, and she agreed, actually taking him outside the house. Mondo saw the blue sky and the sun for the first time in a long time. He thanked Ko and left. But can he truly escape? Judging by Ko's smile, it didn't seem likely. As Mondo ran, he thought about reporting everything to the police, eating a good meal, and getting a new girlfriend. Ironically, it was his desire for a girlfriend that led him to this situation in the first place. He wondered why he kept trying, even though he had already faced so many failures. As he ran, a masked person suddenly attacked him. He narrowly dodged the attack, but before he could escape further, 2 more people appeared, one of whom dragged him back. Ko told them not to be rough with him, as he might get hurt. Angrily, Mondo asked Ko if she knew this would happen if he tried to leave. With a crazed expression, Ko replied, "Yes, of course." She had been enjoying herself with Mondo, leaving my bro shocked. In the end, she told him that he was like a dog's tail, which never straightens, always repeating the same mistakes and never truly learning. She said, "Oni-chan, I will play with you, but you cannot escape from this game." While all this is happening, Tatsumi is watching from the window. Few days later, Tatsumi brings food for him, and it's not just any meal, it's his favorite. Looking at it, Mondo says, "You people know a lot about me, but why don't you tell me anything about yourselves or the outside world?" Tatsumi, who is absolutely unwilling to reveal anything, says, "You don't need to know anything." She said, "Just live your life here with us comfortably." However, she does tell him one thing, something crucial that we, too, need to know, that she has biggest assets among all sisters. Before Tatsumi tries to lock the bro for playing Super Mario Smash using her spiritual pressure, but he stops her and asks about her hobbies. Tatsumi retorts, "Are we on a blind date?" Then we see a flashback showing when Kuu trapped him, and what happened between then and now. For instance, while Tatsumi only tied his hands to the bed, Midori tied both his hands and feet, but Kun did nothing. He said, "Use your room as you see fit." This is when we're introduced to an important rule related to the key. Whoever holds it will become Mondo's owner. For example, when Tatsumi had it around her neck, she was his owner, then Midori got it, and now Kuu has it. However, she doesn't keep the key with her but gives it to Mondo, saying, "Whichever sister you give this key to will become your owner." Hearing this, Mondo says, "But my owner has already changed twice," to which Kuu responds, "Don't worry, everyone need you." After that, Kuu finally tells him about all 5 sisters. And Tatsumigahara is their surname, not real name. The oldest sister is Akane, followed by Aoi, then Midori, Kuu, and finally Momo. Thus, Mondo, if he give this key to someone, she will take good care of you and fulfill all your needs. Even that need. The flashback ends, and Mondo is with Aoi. And her assets even break the manga panel. Here Midori overhears all their conversations. Later, when Mondo is alone, he considers giving the key to Aoi, but then Midori appears, saying, "I'm going to pee, and you'll watch." Mondo thinks, "If you're going to show me, then why do you still ask?" But Midori says she's doing it because she feels bad about how she treated Mondo and wants to apologize. She continues, "I want to apologize, like how? If I'm late for work tomorrow, I would also apologize to my colleagues like this." Then Midori adds that she enjoys bullying the person she loves, typical Yandere behavior, or I can say she likes SNM stuff. Mondo tries to stop her, but she can't control herself, and she ends up there. Mondo cleans her up and says he wasn't angry but just got scared at that moment when Midori attacked him. Hearing this, Midori kisses him and leaves. This was the first time a girl had kissed him, leaving him still a bit suspicious of Midori because she's probably still planning something. Back to Mondo, today he is being served by Momo. He tries to talk to her a bit, and Momo gives him the coldest look ever. She's just not interested in this Squid Game shit. Now, at night, MC is peacefully sleeping, and Momo enters his room. She has come to finish him, and she's about to end this manga in American way. Mondo would be terrified. The first instinct is to beg, saying, "I won't try to escape, please don't kill me." Hearing this, Momo says, "How pathetic you are, you little coward. It's just a toy gun. If this were a real gun, you'd already have a hole in your head." She did this to give Mondo a warning, showing him that he's not in a place to enjoy himself. Someone might attack him with a knife again, just like Aoi did initially. Mondo tries to defend himself, saying he didn't mean any harm. Momo replies, "Alright, I get it. You are a hopeless fool." Momo leaves, saying, "Enjoy every day as if it's your last here." The next day, the eldest sister, Akane, brings him food. She notices that he's stressed and offers him her assists. She forces him to drink from her, saying that it's torture. "If this is called torture, then please, torture me too." Mondo, trapped between Akane and her assets, suddenly recalls a scene from his past, a girl who used to live next door. He notices some scars on her body, some near her neck, and others around her assists. When he asks how she got them, she picks up a fork, saying, "Scars can appear easily," and stabs her hand with it, making Mondo's soul shiver. He now understands that Momo's warning wasn't a joke. He is truly not safe. When he thinks about that, the key falls from his pocket, but he quickly picks it up, not wanting Akane to have it. Desperate, he eats the key to ensure Akane doesn't get it. However, he later faints, and when he wakes up, Akane tells him that the key got stuck in his throat, causing him to choke. Then she gives him a new big key. She leaves, saying she'll play again, but Mondo knows he's not safe here. None of them can be trusted, and he needs to find a way to escape. But no method seems to come to mind. Later, we see that Akane might have mixed something like candy into his food or added some fluid, causing Mondo to faint. And, it's also possible that Akane is the same girl who used to live next door to Mondo's house. Today Momo comes to feed Mondo, and Mondo thinks that maybe it would be right to take her into his team. He tells Momo that he'll take that key to Aoi, and Momo says, "I warned you about this before." Mondo replies, "I trust her." Momo reminds him, "You've forgotten she betrayed you." Mondo replies, "She had her reasons." Momo warns, "She'll fool you again." Mondo says, "You like Aoi." Momo sighs, "I'm tired of this." Wait, what? Actually she doesn't want her sister to take Mondo away from her. He explains his desire to escape from here, from this heaven, and it's difficult to do alone. That's why he want a ally. Mondo then offers her a deal. If she helps him escape, he won't talk to Aoi. And here this manga not chapter. This manga ends. If I had to guess what will happen in the story, I don't think Momo will help him escape. Because if Momo helps him escape, then what's left in the story? If he escapes, there will be no contact between them, and what's left to discuss or deal with? What do you think might happen next? Let me know in the comments.